Hello and welcome to Australia's premier R Liga podcast, where we talk nothing but R Liga all day, all night, all every day. I'm Josh Parrish. We've got Lockie Youngboy Flanagan with us, looking a little worse for wear after watching a lot of football last night. How are you, Lockie?
I'm good. I'm good. I decided against the siesta, something that other members of TNC didn't do, and that explains their absence or potential late entry into this podcast.
Yes, Nick Stoll is catching up on a bit of beauty sleep, but hopefully will
Look,
be
he's just
joining us in a
respecting
few minutes.
Gavi and his beloved Spain. If they have siestas, I'm going to have one too. Fair enough. Fair enough.
And fresh off a 3-2 victory. What an emotional roller coaster that was. Bakua Frimpong, the chief cyberbully, the Ghana fan extraordinaire, is with us as well. How are you, Bakua?
Josh, I'm feeling sensational. No, Josh, I am, unlike some people on this panel who would never experience this at the World Cup, I'm feeling quite good about myself and my country. It's the sun's shining a little brighter, the birds are singing a sweeter tune, everything tastes better, water is fantastic, and feels good to be me right now, Josh. Feels good.
Well, let's start with that one. I mean, it was the best night of the World Cup so far. So many goals, so entertaining. South Korea 2, Ghana 3. After taking a 2-0 lead into halftime, two headers in the space of 3 minutes from the K-League's top scorer, Cho Gui-sung, brought it back to 2-2. But just 7 minutes later, and you told us, Pakua, you said he was that guy, Mohamed Kudus steps up to the plate, nets his second of the night to give Ghana the win. Just take us through the emotional journey of the match, where you were at
Okay.
from minute
So,
1 to minute 90.
Okay, so for me, in terms of World Cups and like watching Ghana matches, I've never watched a Ghana match at a World Cup by myself. My dad is always here; we always watch it together. But my dad's at a conference right now, so I was in my house, like just psychologically trying to psych myself up, listening to a lot of Ghana rhythm just to get myself ready. Okay, emotionally. At the start, those first 15 minutes, I wasn't feeling good. As Ghanaians, we're very cautious people naturally. Okay, wasn't feeling
I've
good.
always thought of you as cautious. That's the first word that comes to mind.
Mm.
We're cautious people, okay? We're very anxious. Wasn't feeling good. Certain people I owe an apology to decided to step up like a broken clock and strike twice.
Yeah. Is this
I,
the show where you deliver your formal
no,
apology
no, I'm not
to Jordan Ayew?
apologizing. I'm
Are
not
you going to admit
apologizing.
you were wrong about Jordan Ayew? I mean,
I
that
wasn't wrong. No,
second
no,
cross, the second
no, no.
assist, Pakua, it was one of the best crosses I've ever seen in my life.
So if you let
Apologize
me
to this
finish,
man.
Lucky, if you let me finish, okay? Jordan Ayew for the Ghana national team has not been good. In his entire career, has not been good. He has had considerably more bad moments than he has had good moments. So he owed us something. He absolutely owed us a one performance that we could talk about of saying, Jordan Ayew kind of did this day. You remember? He was good. For that first half, he was really, really good. And as Jordan Ayew does, he fades in the game. But he delivered those two goals, so I thank him for that. But my boy, Mohamed Kudus, and let me just say it for everybody again, it's Kudus. Simple name. Let's use it correctly, please. I said it before this tournament, he was going to be Kevin Prince Boateng 2022 version. And he has absolutely delivered with 3 goals in this tournament and an assist to go with it. He has been phenomenal. I heard SBS say that Jordan Ayew was the fulcrum of the Ghana side. That is incorrect. That is false. That is fake news.
Well, I mean, they're right
Is
in relation to this game.
No. Mohamed Kudus is the full Jordan Ayew in the lead up to the World Cup. Lockie, don't speak about African teams when you don't know anything about them. Don't speak about it.
Well, all I'm saying
You're
is
not
he
qualified.
had
You're not qualified.
66% of the goals in this game for Ghana were a result of Jordan Ayew. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I
No,
So
it's
mean,
not
maybe
about
that
Jordan
was
Ayew.
the same percentage was scored by Mohamed Kudus.
Lockie, no.
Josh,
I'm talking about
shush.
the fulcrum. SBS said that Andre Ayew, was the fulcrum of the Ghana side, and he is not. Dede is a fantastic player, and he's been a loyal servant to the Ghana national team. But Mohamed Kudus, he drives us forward because otherwise the likes of Thomas Partey, their instinct is not to go forward. It's to be safe and be cautious. But Mohamed Kudus is always driving us forward. And when those 2 goals went in, Salisu, I owe you an apology. I was mad at you. You turned Ghana down multiple times, but you knew when you showed up that this was what he was going to deliver, and he did exceptional work. But when the Koreans scored 2 goals, the blood left my body. I was in shock. I was upset, but I blame certain person on this panel for putting that in the air, talking about, oh, what if Ghana win? Getting ahead of themselves. And they put it into the air and they scored 2 goals. But Mohamed Kudus delivered. And Ghana, we're making it to round of 16 and we're going to beat Brazil.
Oh, big shout.
You got to beat Uruguay first.
So who are you gonna blame for?
Are we not?
that
Sorry,
into
are we
the
not
air?
going to talk about that? Like the fact that Ghana's potential of getting to the knockouts is going to be decided in a game against Uruguay, like 12 years on from the event.
Lucky.
I mean, for the neutral, this is the dream
It
scenario.
is the ultimate fantasy book. This is Pakua's Daniel Bagala moment. This is where revenge happens for Pakua.
I'm literally like Mark and Peep Show, just like, can you stop literally,
Stop actually rubbing my
my
hands
hands?
We as a nation have been waiting for this moment, and you do not understand the pressure from the public in Ghana, all of us, everywhere across the world, to get this win, because we only need a draw. We get a draw, and Portugal, so long as Korea don't win by a ridiculous amount, we qualify for the next round. The fate is in our hands, and there is no way that someone like Andre Ayew, who was there for it, will allow for that nonsense to occur, for the Uruguay to beat us. It's not going to happen. Refuse.
No nonsense sort of outfit. There's plenty of nonsense going on at the final whistle. Ghana
There
staff
was.
trying to take selfies with Son Heung-min while he was in tears.
Absolutely.
I mean, just have
Some
a little
people
bit
in
of
Ghana,
sympathy for the
disrespect
dude.
runs deep. We're just out of pocket.
Just
Sometimes we
sorry.
get
Can I just say
a little
shout
out
out
of
to
pocket.
everyone. Shout out to everyone who quote tweeted photos of the Ghana coaching staff getting photos with Son when he was clearly sad with just cheers. Son's crying. Big fan of everyone who did that.
Mate,
That's phenomenal.
he was out of pocket, but you know what? It is what it is.
Is that Ghanaian football heritage, just being generally out of pocket?
No. Or the Ghana FA being out of pocket, absolutely.
Okay.
But no, it's that moment. That's an L. That's a massive L for whoever that uncle is. I don't know who that man is, but that man is taking a massive L. But that doesn't take anything away from the performance, because when extra time started, I was petrified, absolutely petrified that they were going to score, and they continued to press and press and press. But we held strong, and we didn't give away silly fouls. We were disciplined, and everyone's complaining about this Anthony Taylor not allowing them to take the corner, but there had been literally an additional minute added to the 10 already. So it wasn't like he stopped it at 10 minutes after Daniel Amate went down and didn't give any additional time. He gave additional time, and a corner happened, and there was no more time left. It wasn't a penalty.
Yeah, there's nothing in the laws of the game that says you can't blow full time at a corner, especially when you've already added extra time onto extra time, and you've given chances for attacking opportunities to develop. If someone's about to put the ball in the net, you're not supposed to blow full time, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
So I didn't see the problem with it. It was like the 11th minute of stoppage time. Like,
Exactly.
how mad can you be? Like, this is more time than any team has ever been given to come back. You know, in this World Cup.
We couldn't be more forgiving. There couldn't be more leeway to salvage whatever
It just
hole
shows
you've
that
dug yourself
football-
into than in this World Cup.
Exactly. It shows that footballers will complain about literally anything. It's like, we've given you 10 minutes of added time. Like, literally, this never happens unless, you know, there's like some sort of leg break or something on the field.
Yeah. And
So-
don't mind the members of TNC, you know, who never complain, just launching their big rocks at the glass house that we all live inside either.
Well, Pakua, I mean, any other observations about this Ghana side? How do you think they rectified, some of the things that went wrong against Portugal, or was this just a different quality
Um,
opposition?
no, I think the big part of it was I think somebody who won't get enough credit in this game because Jordan Ayew and Kudus will get a lot of the credit, but is Tariq Lamptey because in those first 15 minutes, he was working so incredibly hard to cover Son's run and make tackles and block so many things. His work rate was the reason after the first game, said instead of Seydu, he should have started because he was phenomenal and he did incredibly well. But I think another big part was playing three up front because in that Portugal game, Inake Williams was rarely in the game until late into that second half. And by providing him extra support and actually getting him more on the ball, even though he didn't do anything and he fluffed one of the easiest opportunities I've ever seen, it is what it is. He was more present, and we actually felt like we had actually like 11 players on the park as opposed to 10 and a half. So I think that was really important.
Well, take a league of this guy. Nick Stoll joins us fresh from his bed. Welcome.
It's true. It's 5:26 p.m. local time, and I woke up about a minute ago. So great to be here. But this is a new era, obviously. It's the A Liga era. We run the entire Australian football apparatus now. Thank you to Danny Townsend for making that official. And I'll just say, we've talked about Ghana, South Korea. What a result for Ghana. What a game. It was incredible. Really happy for Ghana. Really happy for Pakua. And really happy for me, who had a really good sleep today. Solid 6 hours.
Unreal. You didn't get held up by any traffic this time, any trucks making right turns at the end of your street. You rode your Vespa in today. Was that?
I had a great run in, actually. Killed it in traffic-wise. And
that's not good. You should never be killing it in traffic. That's bad, Stoll. That is bad.
No, look, actually, it's the new era of now that we officially renamed the league. Vince sent his chauffeur to my house, so very easy, just cruising. The chauffeur knows the best routes to go and all that kind of stuff. So thank you very much to Vince Regari for that.
I mean, should we, for the uninitiated, for the people on the podcast without who are listening to podcasts who don't suffer from soccer Twitter brainworms?
Oh, yeah.
I don't go on soccer Twitter.
And I honestly had no idea what we were talking about when we came in.
I feel so much happy for it. You guys talk about things, and I'm like, what are you talking about? And I feel good to live on the outside, but
to be fair, there are plenty of people who did know what we were talking about and still looked at it and went, "What the fuck are we talking about?" To be quite honest with you.
Well, I had to explain it to my girlfriend yesterday, and she did look at me like I was insane, which not for the first time, not for the last time. But yeah, what a night yesterday was. And what a 24 hours. I gotta say, all the memes, all the jokes, I could not stop laughing.
Run it back for me, people. Run it back. I'm missing some information, like key points.
Josh, contextualize this for us.
Well, like a lot of things, it's Ante's fault. Like most things, this is Ante's fault.
Actually,
in a galaxy far, far away.
Area 51.
But a lot of people don't know he coined the term soccer Twitter. So all these people like getting angry at the term A Liga don't know that they're using the phrase came up with by the same guy. But Ante has a habit of just balkanizing random words just for a gag. It's just a funny little nickname for the league. That's literally all it is. It's not that deep. It's like people calling the Premier League Barclays or whatever. It's just a little
the Prem or something like that.
Or the Prem.
Or the Cinch in Scotland as well.
Exactly. And for some reason, people hate it. They hate it. There's a small minority, a loud minority, who just hate it for some reason, and they can't seem to explain why. And that's
never explain.
No,
they even get frustrated at their own inability to not explain it. Like I just can't put my finger on it, but I hate it.
We've all got those things in life. Everyone has that thing. We can understand it, but it's not going to stop us. It's not going to
Well,
stop us.
the thing is with it's always one of those things where like if I know it annoys you, it's so much funnier. Like every single time these people are like, it just annoys me so much. What are you telling me that for? That's
So
just
who are the
telling
key
me
characters
say it.
in this issue at the moment? I'm missing.
Sorry?
The characters. I'm missing the characters. You know, I like simple movie plots. So just give me who are the key characters here, please.
Ante, the founder.
Absolutely.
Then it kind
Full
of
status.
Ante kind of said it a few times. Then we as TNC kind of just said it all the time. Then the TNC, which I like to think the TNC family, the TNC community, the people
TNC
here,
Mafia.
yeah, in this beautiful, but in the beautiful chat, the people like Run Them Memes and Alan Riley and Joseph Cecconi, all these people adopted it. People came to be a part of the movement, the Our Liga movement, and we started a revolution.
It's like a little
people's-
Stonecutters thing, you know, like a little nod to, you know,
Yeah.
the being in the in group, and that's
So-
maybe what puts people off. I don't know.
Yeah, no, fuck them, right? Anyway, so then a wave starts to begin, and people start using Our Liga, and then Vince Rigari, good friend of the show, he starts to use it, and then I think that was when people really started to get stuff when it started to appear, not quite in Sydney Morning Herald articles, but when Vince was tweeting out about the Our Liga. I think it got people very annoyed. And then even, for example, Teo, he used it in a call once. during the
It's
thing,
canon.
which
It's
I very
canon
much
now.
enjoyed.
Not only has Teo
Yeah.
used it in a call, but Danny Townsend approves.
This,
I also
this-
want to add as well before the Danny Townsend co-sign happened yesterday, which I'm sure Nick Stoll will want to talk more about. This is public. Like you can Google this. There's a whole thing. There was a video posted on TNC. You can Google it, mate, as Adam Bant said. If you search Our Liga Men, it comes up. It comes up. It's publicly available information. It's out there on the World Wide Web.
So I'm just kind of gonna bring up the tweet that started
Oh,
it
yeah, I
all.
was also looking for it, and
Should
it's
we?
not a
Should we? I don't know. It's just.
Look.
It's just so petty and weird. I don't really get it.
No,
but-
we have to because it
but-
does like we have to explain, for Bakua and many other people how it came to be
Okay,
the
alright.
official term now. All right, look, it is
Is
what
getting new
happened.
branding? You guys getting brand deals with the Our Liga?
I mean, I would hope so at the very least. I want a
Is
corner
Ante going to
office.
come out of the woodwork now that it's going to be coined?
I mean, Run Their Memes is already designing merchandise, so
Yeah.
You guys getting a
um,
percentage of that?
I
better
like
believe
I like what Joseph is saying in the comments. A Liga to me is not only like a pet name being affectionate in nature, but it's also like a code which signals you watch TNC. You know what? It's also a code that you're not triggered by like the
and
slight
like
change
super
or-
insecure by any
Yeah.
perceived comparison of the A League to Europe or something. It's
Yeah.
This is an imagined meaning of the term. It has nothing to do with it. But somehow, like some people think it's disrespectful to the league.
Well,
And as Australian football fans, we are so ready to take any perceived slight against our sport and run with it. It's like this PTSD that everybody has to some extent or another. And where you draw that line is different for different people. For some people, it's like an insulting report on active support on Channel 7 or Channel 9. Or whatever, usually Channel 7, let's be honest. For others, you like that style? Yeah. For others, it's Our Liga, apparently. So,
Well,
for some people, it's a Peter Fitzsimmons article saying we should
Yes.
have a go, you mugs, at France. But, there are little things that set off spot fires on some
haven't
Twitter.
lost
It's
the
like,
game since he wrote
we-
that article. I will point out.
That's true. 100% record. These sort of flame wars erupt over the smallest things sometimes, but this has to be the most precious, fragile thing I've ever seen. in
Go
that
Lockie.
category.
It's also the timing of when this discussion happened. Like we are amazing. Like I love soccer Twitter so much, and so much of what happened yesterday, in the context of what's happened in the previous 2 days as well, is why I love it so much. Because Saturday night is one of the best nights in Australian football. Like that, we were the envy
Best
of the
nights in Our Liga?
footballing. We were the envy of the footballing world. after not beating Tunisia specifically, but the fan reaction to that. That the videos of Fed Square and elsewhere went worldwide. We were at the top. We were as close to the top as we've ever been in a long time. Everyone was ranting about how good it was, and not 48 hours later are we getting bogged down, the whole of soccer Twitter, in this just nebulous debate about whether or not a joke term that just popped into Ante's brain one day and stuck is disrespectful to the competition, and how do we view this thing? We are incredible. Like, that is you cannot get that content churn anywhere else. We are undefeated, and so much of what has happened in the past 72 hours is a big reason why.
So, yeah, this is also from the people that say we need to unite the game. You know what I love? Can you guys imagine, 50, 60 years in the future when eventually we win the World Cup, what's going to be, how long is it going to take? Probably 24 hours or 36 hours for us to have a culture war off the back of it about something that's absolutely meaningless. I really look forward to that. So just kind of to set the scene, basically what happened was this guy, Tim, he tweeted out. So actually, Vince started it all. We've got to say Vince, friend of the show, did start this whole. Yes, he is. He managed to start an A-League. He managed to start an A-League culture war from Qatar. Let me bring up the tweet.
I mean, the influence of billionaires on our political discourse.
I know.
It's so invasive, isn't it?
And you know what? Traditionally, I'm a big fan of holding billionaires to account. But Vince is on our side, so he's funding the A Liga revolution. Actually, here he says, "I have no idea what a player of Craig Goodwin's quality is doing in the A Liga, but it's high time we appreciate it fully." Now, traditionally, as Soccer Twitter likes to do, took that completely out of context. Like, you can clearly see what Vince is saying there, but obviously people have gone a bit nuts. And then Vince has to clear that up a few moments later. Just to be clear, this tweet isn't about the A-League is no good. So he's using the official term there when he's got in trouble. It's like it's like a statement to the press. It's Craig Goodwin is such of a high quality. He could probably play anywhere. And it's great that he's home, and more people should get around him and the comp. Right?
Do you know what that? Sorry, do you know what that reminds me of? Do you know when you're on Twitter and you go the translation, and you got to click the translation button? I feel like that's what Vince has done. He just clicked the translation button and he's just translating.
It's like so much of this though, as well as like ascribing meaning to things that, as I said before, just don't have meaning. It's like people who claim they saw like the Queen in the clouds on the night she was passing, or like, oh, I saw Jesus on toast. It's just toast. Like, there's no meaning behind what you think you're interpreting.
Lucky. I get your Scottish. Why is the Queen getting stray shots right now?
No, because that was one of the lead stories that made like one of the UK papers with like God sends message to mark the passing of the Queen as she's spotted in the clouds. They were just clouds.
I don't know what.
Lizzie's in a cloud, in a cloud. Lizzie's in a cloud.
You need to relax, yeah.
So, respect to Liz. Good on her.
Sorry, respect to Elizabeth. We should use the full name when we're clarifying, as Vince does.
Eliza. And I believe you were, Lockie, before you were talking about Jesus on toast. We refer to it as Jesus en tostada. Anyway, so look, Tim wasn't happy about Vince's use of A Liga, which he's right. He can be, but it's just funny because it's kind of a weird thing to get upset about. He said maybe he should stop using cultural cringe names like A Liga and show our domestic league some self-respect. Then, just a thought. Now,
wait, sorry.
I didn't. Yeah, go. Yeah, great comment from Georgia, by the way.
Self-respect to the A Liga. Can Vince show A Liga self-respect if Vince is not the A Liga? Because I feel like that's incorrect English. Can you? Because shouldn't the A Liga be showing self-respect? I don't.
Yeah, that implies that he is the A Liga.
I'm just trying to clarify. That's all I ask.
Well, I think Tim has been confused because of all the billionaire Vince memes. He does think Vince is Silver Lake. So it's hard. Plot lines get mixed up. When I watch Game of
Silver
Thrones,
Lake, I thought it was his consortium.
Yeah.
No, he's like the Silver Ocean. and then his offsider is Silver Lake.
Yeah, it's actually a shell corporation.
He just puts his little play money in there,
Vince
you know, just
I just heard a rumor that Vince is trying to buy Juve now that they've all fled the scene. Is that true? Is that true?
That's an amazing story, by the way. We should get onto that. Anyway, so I respond to our friend Tim and just say, I just wanted to stick up for Vince because I do think of
Good on
all
you
the
for
kind of
sticking with
mainstream journalists.
billionaires, Nick.
Yeah,
on you,
thanks, Bakua. I'm always Elon. If you need any help, Zuckerberg, I got you covered.
Just
Gina
just
Reinhardt.
Homer jumping in front of Apu and taking the stray bullet.
I just think they're attacked all the time, and they're entrepreneurs, and they've worked hard for their wealth, and people are just jealous, and that eventually is going to trickle down into our pockets, and we should be grateful. Thank you, sir. May I have some more? But no,
I
Vince,
thought you were
the
only campaigning for
billionaire,
mayor, Nick. Now you're campaigning for Liberal pre-selection.
So yeah, after the
You
Boomer
shouldn't
gag I did the other night.
confuse people anymore about your political leanings on this podcast. your
It's
mum's
true.
already
Look, I like-
worried.
Okay, so I say Vince wants to stick up for Vince. Vince spent his entire career trying to promote the league at every turn. One of the I've made a mistake there already. I should have said to promote the Our Liga, but anyway, one of the few dedicated journos left, consistently getting out great stories from the league to the wider public, but he's showing a lack of respect, ? That was my response. Went well. People got behind that. Well, I did think it was ridiculous that you thought Vince, of all people, was showing disrespect to the league. Like, Vince
you're right.
loves the
You're
league.
I
You're
mean,
right.
it's a drop in the ocean
Yeah.
compared to your other viral tweets from last night. But
If you
Yeah,
guys
now
so
watch-
everyone
Speaking to
thinks
us,
you
though.
hate Mo Salah as well. So it's been an interesting 24 hours.
There's all these Egyptian Liverpool fans who are just like, what? So you think Abubakar is better than Salah? Like, come on, like
It's so
it was
clearly
a Shaq
joke.
meme, all right.
Oh.
Anyway, so Danny Townsend, who I believe is still CEO of the A-Leagues. I don't know if maybe he's resigned and that's why he was so free with it. But I really liked what he said. He said he can call it what he likes as long as we're talking about it. And Alan Riley, for anything, soccer Twitter
Just
vindicated.
expose that you've
Uh,
muted Alan Riley.
Sorry, Alan. Anyway,
To be fair, that's
Communicado
Stoll's,
Hospital.
that's at least Stoll's third worst exposure on this podcast, to be quite honest.
Yeah, the second was him shirtless,
leave
and the
my
third
nipples
we don't
alone.
talk about.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's too much
Communicado
abuse in the
official.
replies, right? You just couldn't handle being roasted all the time. That's
I can't remember why I muted Alan. Sorry, I'll unmute you. Anyway, Danny Townsend says, lucky I hadn't muted Danny Townsend. That would have been awkward. Says, Isuzu Ute Our Liga men, Liberty Our Liga women. Saves a few letters. We've done it. We've done it. The revolution is here.
It's arrived.
incredible.
What a moment. I mean, first of all, well done to Danny. Shows he's either a listener. He might be the guy commenting on YouTube whose name is Our Liga. Maybe he is for this brand thing the whole time. So
Ooh.
big shout out to Danny. Big shout out to us. Big shout out to the people who were annoyed because that was so funny. Big shout out to people like Evan who tweeted "I lick my balls" or whatever it was. So, it was just one of the very funniest moments, and it was a funny moment because, some debates on soccer Twitter matter, but this one does not at all. If you never want to call it Our Liga, you never have to. You
can mute the word from your timeline if you want to.
Mm.
You can do that.
That's a great shout. That's a
If
great
you
shout.
really have a problem with it, you
Respect
can mute
content.
words from your timeline. I had to mute the word dictator a couple of years ago for reasons I won't get into. So
Should we go through our
Brings it up.
muted words?
But also, sorry, I just wanted someone who was commenting on this discussion brought up a great point, and it's just like a general thing about the internet. It's like just because you see something on the internet and you don't like it, that doesn't mean it's for you. Like you don't have to decide that that's wrong. You can just Yeah, you can just mute it. Like Ricky Gervais, this guy shared this joke that Ricky Gervais tells where he's like, you know, it's imagine if someone put up a sign in like a town hall that said like free guitar lessons, and you take the stub and you go, well, I didn't want any guitar lessons. You know, it's that's not for you. And like, if you don't like our Liga, mute it, leave it.
You
But
like
don't
Ricky Gervais, Lucky?
don't hate on people because they want to use the term instead. You use your own objectionable terms and we'll let it slide. That's just the way the internet works. It's a free space. You can say more or less what you like.
Can I share
But
my
also-
favorite? Can I share my favorite meme of the whole lot, which is Antonius
Oh.
Pagonis. I came up with this one,
Yeah.
which is the.
Read it
The
out, read it
Office.
out for
You
the
know what?
podcast.
I'm going to start calling it Our Liga even harder, which honestly sums it up. To be honest, like
Yeah,
it sums it up
That's
because
100%.
the more people have a problem with it, the more fun it is. The more fun it is. So you're just encouraging us. I have to say, we're incorrigible.
I want to share Evan's tweet, which it was just a thing of beauty. Been
the
thinking about
execution.
the cultural and socio-ethnic implications of the Our Liga debate. Which, by the way, there were some people who were kind of going in that direction. It's not that deep. Raging on soccer Twitter, positioning myself at the crossroads of cultural cringe, Eurocentric aspirationalism, and language. And here's what I think: why don't you have a Liga my balls?
It doesn't stop
Oh.
there.
I feel like Evan's
Glorious.
like a boogeyman who just appears and just like stings real quick. Because every time something's happened, he's just there, and then he just gets the wow. He just gets the moment. He always gets the moment.
I mean, he's just
No.
Gladwell's 10,000 hours, but with memes. Like he just
Yeah,
you-
it's amazing.
these days
Um,
this this MF don't miss. Like
What was also funny was like, I don't know, like there was like, I saw there was 500 plus votes on a poll about whether Our Liga is cringe, doesn't matter, or nah, I like it. I'm gonna call it something like, why are people voting on this?
Nick, were
Like,
you the
we must have our
499
say. Sorry, Paco.
Were you the 499 votes saying I love it?
No, that
Yeah,
that
well-
was 499 people of the 37,000 that stole who liked Stoll's tweet, and he said, "Wow, this blew up. Hey guys, if you have any spare time, go and vote on this poll." It was a cheap plug from Stoll.
I knew I needed to get a viral tweet. Hey, can I just say, by the way, on that viral tweet, I got offered to put a sponsored post underneath it, but they never came back with the money. So I was close to selling out, but didn't get the offer.
Must
Unfortunately,
be
I
nice.
wanted
Must
to.
be nice.
It would have been great to promote a sex toy underneath my tweet about the car. Or what was the other one they used to always see? It was like the face mask.
yeah, that
like
gross thing with the peeling and the
green
pimples and
tea?
stuff. Oh,
Yeah,
I just
green tea face mask. So unfortunately, I was not given money for that. But just a very funny moment, and like I guess also it shows like who's in on the joke, who doesn't mind having a bit of fun with it, and I think that's probably what Danny Townsend was doing when he tweeted that. But at one point last night, I wanted to like not obviously get a tattoo, but like Photoshop Our Liga onto my knuckles to just show how committed I was to the Our Liga thing. So look, anyone watching this pod or listening to it, please continue to use Our Liga as frequently as you like, mainly because all of us will get a good chuckle out of it. And anyone who gets annoyed, it's even funnier that they're annoyed. So, what a wonderful world. What a wonderful time.
In our legal we trust.
Georgia says it was a sunset light or a vibrator.
Oh.
We'll never know.
Yeah.
We'll never know. Unfortunately.
And you know what? Why not combine, as long as it's the right end of those two things?
It gives it a whole new meaning to where the
Ah,
sun
this
don't shine.
shows-
Now it does.
This podcast has gone a different direction. I did not sign up for this
Okay.
pod.
All I'm going to say is I see Stoll has that bookcase. It's always on his, I think, left shoulder every time he
Yeah.
records. If I see any product placement on that bookcase, if I see any Galaxy lights there, Stoll, I'm going to be watching that space like a hawk.
All right. This has been a great World Cup podcast so far.
Yeah.
Um,
Victory lap that
Man.
became a victory marathon.
Look, all right. Honestly, people in the comments, let us know. Do you want us to talk about, I don't know, Brazil v Switzerland, or do you want us to talk about how we changed the name of the league?
Oh,
it's a
I mean,
rare day.
We need to get the official A League account just for a day, just to change not the handle. Oh, keep your handle. That can be risky.
Yeah.
We saw with the bomb trying to rebrand. That didn't go well. But change the name. And we'll send our inside sources to try and finagle that. But Cameroon 3, shake of the head from Lockie, by the way. Cameroon 3, Serbia 3. Perhaps the game of the World Cup so far.
What are you talking about?
Come on.
What?
Oh, get the
This was
blinkers
awesome.
off. Get the blinkers
Nah,
off.
guys, you guys are not like. Let's be real, yeah. Ghana's
Good.
delivered two-
Don't debate
Well,
this.
Ghana has delivered 2 of the best matches at this entire tournament.
Yeah.
Be
Ghana
serious.
delivered one of the
to-
all-time great matches against Uruguay in 2010. Should we talk about that? Amazing
Whoa,
historical game.
Nick, you are added to the list, yeah. You've just been added. I remember.
I live 700 kilometers away from you, Pakua. It's all good,
Now
right?
you live in the Shadow Realm. Watch me. When I come to the Shadow Realm December 10th, I will make time and find you.
Cool. What I think you don't understand is that Nick Stoll has an army of 37,000 people who liked his tweet about Vincent Abubakar, who are ready to go to war for him.
I think
Just consider that.
36,000 of them are from Cameroon. So
They'll travel. They'll travel.
away. Shadow Realm away days.
What I want to know about this match is how Serbia didn't win it like 6-1. There was a moment there before Abubakar, was ruled onside and everything. Yes, go change the A-League Wikipedia page. I endorse that.
Don't do
From
that.
Toros there.
Don't do
But
that.
there was a certain moment in the game. It was just as Serbia scored
Sorry,
their
Lefty.
third goal, Mitrovic tapping in, and it like the Cameroon defenders were traffic cones. Like it was a complete walkover. It was done. Damir Kulash was celebrating in our group chat. It was over Serbia
is he
3
at
points, and
now,
then
anyway?
suddenly the game flipped so quickly. I don't understand how Serbia missed this opportunity because all those Mitrovic chances in the first half that he missed, like they bottled it. Serbia bottled it.
You know what? I thought that these two teams, it was like they didn't know the score or situation they needed because they just didn't manage the game well at all. Like Serbia was like destroying Cameroon. It looked like it was going to be an easy like 5-1 victory. And then somehow they get caught like on the counterattack. You're up 3-1. Like, you're about to get your first win of the World Cup. And you're like putting everyone forward. Like you need to get 5 goals or something. Cameroon just sliced you open. Abubakar's goal. First of all, Abubakar saying before the tournament, I'm not that impressed with Salah. I can do what he does. Coming off the bench in his first game, and we're all thinking like, oh my God, how embarrassing. This guy thinks he's so good. And then shutting us all up with one of the goals of the tournament. An incredible chip. Everyone says that, he thought he was offside, and so he just took all the pressure off. And so he just did a little shimmy and a chip, and it was
Does that make it
amazing.
better?
Yeah, well, no, I think he thought he was onside. This guy thinks he's better than Salah. Who are we to question his confidence?
He didn't celebrate at all, though. He didn't celebrate at all. I know the flag went up.
Are we
but
sure that
he didn't
Serbia
even really
wasn't the
check.
country of his birth and he was doing a Briel in Bolo?
No, he. I think he did think he was offside, and that's why he finished it like that. But you still have to be able to do it. It's still awesome.
It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. Honestly, he reminded me of like the old guy who comes down to like 5-a-side. You think like, oh, this guy's going to be terrible. And he's still just got a few moves. Like he can just do some amazing things. Can't move too quickly. But then he also got the assist as well to make it 3-3. And again, the way Serbia was defending when they were up 3-2, insane. Absolutely insane defending.
Why? Like, not even getting into the missed chances. And I feel like, as Joseph is pointing out with the Mitrovic comment, like the game could have been done in the first half. And we really did see the best and worst of Alexander Mitrovic, where he did some fantastic things. And the third goal that Serbia scored was beautiful. Even if it was a transition, it was a beautiful goal.
Yeah,
but Mitrovic could have had a hat-trick easily with the amount of chances that he squandered. But when you're 3-1 up, yeah, it's terrible game management. They were playing a high line, and you know, Cameroon have just brought on Vincent Abubakar, who is clearly, as we've seen, no
How'd you say his
slouch
name
when it.
again?
Abubakarovic, as
Abubakar.
Antonis has said, the Serbian-born Abubakarovic.
Yeah, his ability to get in behind the lines was there for everyone to see. Just on the first goal, surely the first goal, even if it's marginal offside call, is your warning sign to be like, okay, they've clearly got some speed in behind here. Let's just drop that defensive line a touch. No, didn't happen at all. They got turned even easier for the equalizer than they did for the second goal. It was some of the worst game management I've
Yeah.
ever seen. It was bad.
Yeah.
It was so
guys.
bad.
Guys, see, you guys are clearly being surprised by this, but as I saw on Twitter, somebody put it so perfectly. This was a traditional AFCON match. This was beautiful art. This is real
Yes.
AFCON
And,
territory.
and like many traditional AFCON matches, it featured a team from UEFA.
Yes. Serbia are the Senegal of Europe.
Mate, pure AFCON vibes. Where an absolute I think you're cruising, living your best
Yeah.
life. It's the tendencies that Ghana also like to bring into tournaments when nonsense always follows them for 20 minutes. But as AFCON tournaments, you suddenly get a kick. It's like Jesus calls on you and goes, "What are you doing?" And you score 2 beautiful goals. It's great.
Can
to
we
see.
Jesus
keep-
calls on you and says, "You up?"
You are.
Can we give a shout out to Onana, the Cameroonian goalkeeper, who refused or seems to refuse to play or left the squad or whatever it was?
He's done a Roy
because-
Keane. He's done
Well-
a Saipan.
He did it because of his coach's defensive tactics, and then they had a 3-3 draw in their next game. Like absolute insane stuff. I just got to say, I love a World Cup blow up. France 2010 is still the gold standard with the protest, making Amazing Dominic read out a statement.
Apology on the news
I watched that
statement. Sorry.
recently. I watched that video recently, and I was like, "This is actually pure comedy art. Like, this is sensational. The fact they convinced this man to disrespect himself is fantastic. Could you imagine somebody being like, "You got to read this out," and you being like, "Yeah, sure thing. I don't care." Like, what?
If I could go back in time, I would get on that French bus where they were sitting, watching him read out the speech, where he was like, "I am a terrible coach. I need to do better. I've wasted these talented players' potential." Like, unbelievable. One of the all-time great in-tournament blow-ups. Thank you, Onana, for continuing the tradition.
Well,
Well
I
done.
heard 2 conflicting reasons for him, because apparently, like there's one story going around that the coach was telling him to take the goal kicks long and not try and play out from the back anymore, and he hated it.
Onana brought up
football
at La
heritage.
Masia, baby. La Masia. We don't do that shit here.
But I saw another reporter, I think it was Oluwashina Okeleji, who's usually pretty plugged into this stuff, saying that he was unhappy with the interference of Samuel Eto'o, who's the Cameroonian Federation president, in team tactics and selection. And that's why he left.
Imagine disrespecting Samuel Eto'o.
Didn't Brill Mbolo's mother in the aftermath of the Switzerland game against Cameroon when Mbolo scored and obviously didn't celebrate? I'm pretty sure there was a story about her taking to social media because everyone was saying, "Oh, Brill, why didn't you play for Cameroon?" And she said, "Well, part of the reason is that Brill's not part of Samuel Eto'o's sort of player agency or something like that." That was the accusation that she made.
The other accusation that was made was that the dad did want his son to play for them, but like every African nation, we do love a bit of money, and they asked the dad he asked him to pay to get his son into the squad, and they said no, and now it is what it is.
You know what? It is what it is. Should be the AFCON slogan,
Can I also just say about the Abubakar finish before I forget?
Yeah.
It wasn't really a chip; it was a scoop.
Scoop.
Like he was a scoop shot, and it reminded me of when you're playing soccer at school at lunchtime, and there's like the 2 kinds of school shoes. There's sort of your Clarks round and lace up, which was good for a toe bash, but not much else. And then there was the sort of we used to call them tappers. Those sort of laceless ones or the long ones with the sort of almost curved toe, and that was perfect perfect for the scoop shot. So I don't know what kind of boots Abu Bakr was wearing, but maybe they were maybe that was tappers. Debano on the road, out and about.
Gee,
Good
what a
flattering angle. Yeah, wow.
Yeah, straight up your nostrils, Nick. You want to unmute yourself?
Is Mark Bosnich holding your camera right now?
Nick's mic is not connected to the stream, and so we can't hear him. Bye, Nick. Sort yourself out, mate.
Let's bring Pakua back.
That's the best substitute appearance since Nikola Kalinic refused to come on for Croatia in 2018.
Does Nick walk around with a ring light just like on his camera? Is that what he just does 24/7? Because that was some intense stuff just there.
Oh man. All right, Debano, do you think you're ready to talk?
Mate, you guys kicked me out. All I had to do was just press mute. You guys,
no, I unmuted you and it didn't work. It said your camera, your mic wasn't connected. You didn't enable it.
I hear that's bullshit.
Quick question.
Yeah.
How much did you pay for the ring light?
How much did I pay for the ring light? How much is the sun worth?
I'm just saying. It's
Vince
shining,
Regari talking.
I've heard that Vince did submit a few bids, but they were unsuccessful.
Yes. Hello, guys. I got to say, listening to that on my way home on the bus was great, especially the A Liga segment. I really enjoyed it. I'm not
On your
gonna
way
lie,
home
I started-
from A Liga headquarters.
I was almost cackling on the bus. The guy next to me was just probably thinking, like, who is this guy watching this random stream on his phone, reading Evan Morgan Graham's tweets?
No, I think what you'll find, Nick, is the annoyed person on the bus was sitting there thinking, why the hell is he calling it A Liga? God damn it.
Show some respect to
right.
this wonderful league.
No, you're right. You're right. 100%. George is right as well. It is gold now. It's got to make the most of the sun for cool. You should get outside as well. You know,
getting
make
a couple
the
of
most
shots
of
for
the
the
sun.
gram,
Mate, Nick,
Debano.
Nick,
A
I'm
couple of
gonna
shots
be
for
honest with
the dating profile.
Oh, for God's sake! I literally can't win.
Nick, I'm going to be honest with you. My ancestors spent enough time in the sun. I'm good with the sun. We're good. Personally.
That's why you've got your hood up,
I'm good.
I'm
facing
not gonna
against
say
the
anymore.
elements.
not going to say anymore.
How did you enjoy the demise of Juventus overnight, Nick? Do you agree with Carlo Garganese that it's going to be
Yes,
the death of Italian football?
Serie A is dead. That is it. That is the end. There is no more. Juventus is gone. We must stop all Italian football forever. Hey, the last time the Juventus got kicked out, all good things happened in Italy. Italy won the World Cup. The last time that happened, AC Milan won the Champions League.
I don't think it's going to happen this time, mate. I think the ship has
2026.
sailed.
Hey, but if Juventus get relegated to like Serie D, they might not be back in Serie A by the time what's its face comes back. By the time the World Cup rolls around in America. So look, to be honest, it's quite stark revelations, I got to say. And if they're all resigning in one go, must be something big about to drop, fellas. Must be something big about to drop in the next 24 hours. But the energies of that Carlo Garganese tweet, just quietly, you know what that reminds me of? If you want to bring it back to an A-League sense, I actually saw someone tweet it. It was A Dubsaka, I think that's saying he's used it correctly. I spoke to him a few weeks ago for the Newcastle, Anthony from the Newcastle.
He was the one who was
A-League
screaming
All
at the Jets players.
Yeah, Anthony from A-League's All Access. And he tweeted that it reminded him of how people always say, if we have Pro Rel and Victory or the Wanderers get relegated, the league's in trouble. It's like, the league will survive, all right? It's all good. Don't stress. I don't know. But anyways.
And also,
Go on,
Juve's already been kicked down to Serie B, and it was fine. They
Yeah.
came back up. It was, it's a good.
Yeah, they came back up straight away. It was all good. Everyone stuck around. There was no worries. So it was all good.
They
but
lost a
just
few
quietly-
blokes. They lost Ibra, Vieira,
Yeah, but
it's not like everyone stayed.
Buffon stuck around. Del Piero stuck
Del
around.
Piero,
Nedved.
Trezeguet.
Italians stuck
Yeah,
around.
well,
Probably
Nedved didn't
Cameronese,
stick
I
around this
think.
time though, Stoll. Nedved was like, I'm out of
See
here.
ya.
But the
Um,
problem as well is, Nick, that the people who stuck around that time around were like Del Piero. The people who are going to stick around this time are like Weston McKennie. Like it's not
Raphael,
quite the
yeah.
same
Hey,
situation.
Nick, Rafael Leao is going to stick around Serie A.
Nah.
Okay.
Can I just say, Fernando Santos, like, I don't know what you're thinking right now, mate. I know you've won 2 from 2. You're probably riding the high right now. You're thinking it's all working, but mate, Like, you're leaving one of your best players on the bench and playing the most conservative bloody football I've ever seen. Like this morning, that was such a boring game. That was such a boring game. And you know what? They need a bit of spice. They need a bit of Liao, a bit of something to get us excited about it. Like the vibes, like as Alessandro Diamanti says. And we need more Rafael Liao. So yeah, I was disappointed. Like this is 2 games in a row where they've left a guy who can honestly change a game, which having probably watched more Rafael Leao than most people in Australia over the last couple of years, the guy is an absolute star, and the guy is not starting games. And if it wasn't enough against Ghana to show what he can do in a limited amount of time, I don't understand how you can't start him. I'm sorry, Pakua. I am really sorry to bring up some bad memories, but it's just to ram the point home. All right, the guy is a baller. He's being wasted on the bench.
The type of person you are, Nick. You try to hurt your friends to make your point. Now I see.
Pakua, you guys won this morning. Pakua, you guys won this morning. All right, I'm happy for Ghana. I'm all for Ghana. I want Ghana to go through. But if you're gonna start,
you're kicked off the bus. You and Lockie.
Pakua, all right, fine. Kicked off the bus. Let's see what happens next game. If Luis Suarez might handball the ball on the goal line again, and then we're on again.
Well, that's That segues quite nicely to today's referee being less charitable, to Uruguayan handballs. I mean, Ali Reza Fagani, the A-League official, being called over to the VAR booth. I don't know if it was assistant VAR Sean Evans who made the call, or whether it was the Qatari lead VAR guy who was the same VAR as on the infamous New Zealand Costa Rica playoff. Yes, Jose Jimenez sliding into Bruno Fernandes. Ball hits his arm, but it's his supporting arm between his body and the ground, which, according to IFAB and the guidance for interpretation, that's not supposed to be a handball. So I don't really understand why it's.
Yeah, but what do they know?
My question is, because when I first initially saw it, I thought it was a handball just because it stopped a clear goal scoring opportunity. That's why I thought it was given. So I understand the rule you're saying, but if it's like if Bruno Fernandes gets that ball, he's going to score. Is it not correctly given as a pen?
No, because stopping a goal scoring opportunity is only if it's a foul in the first place, and that's not a foul in the first place. So therefore, it's not stopping a clear goal scoring opportunity. If you get what I mean. And if it's not a clear goal scoring opportunity because he didn't get a red card.
I completely understand it not being a penalty, but when I first initially saw it, my initial reaction was, "Oh, that's a pen," comfortably.
Yeah, I mean, you can disagree with the guidance from IFAB, but that's what they said, and then this is given. Like I think it was a bit unfair. I don't think it changed the result of the game. I didn't think Uruguay were going to score. Thought they were very poor. They tried to go kind of direct to Darwin Nunez. They brought Luis Suarez off, and I thought Luis Suarez was more threatening, even though he's
you mean Cavani?
No, Suarez came off the bench as well.
Okay, sorry.
Wait, didn't Cavani start with?
Yeah, Cavani started.
Yeah, well, they started alongside Nunez. But I thought Luis Suarez was more threatening in his cameo than Darwin Nunez was in his entire outing on the pitch. And there was one great cross into the box. They brought Facundo Pellistri on at halftime, and he made one great run down the right, great cross in, and Nunez was nowhere near it. He didn't even go for it. He didn't even make the run. And I'm like, dude, you got to be in the right spot.
Nunez is a fraud. Nunez is
hey, you both.
You just keep hating on Liverpool players, Stoll. What's this?
You both are going to incite the Liverpool fans in a second. They're going to bombard the comments and they're going to come after you both. So good luck.
I actually overheard Vincent. I heard Vincent Abubakar say, "I'm actually better than Darwin Nunez as well." I did hear that somewhere.
Oh, 100%. You can trap a ball.
Yeah. No, Nunez is a stinker.
I think I just heard Nick Hughes just barging through the doors of your house, Nick Stoll.
I just think Luis Suarez, who's one of my all-time favorite players, sitting on the bench. Look, he's absolutely washed. I don't think Suarez is the answer, but I would love to have heard what he was saying about Nunez on the bench. He would have been openly cursing him out, like, how is this guy playing ahead of me? This is ridiculous. How many goals I've scored for this country?
Suarez wasn't good in the first game. He was
horrendous.
A sinkhole of absolutely nothing.
I mean,
That's true.
Uruguay have just been bad across both games. Like
Yeah.
I completely agree with what you're saying, Debano, about Portugal being unconvincing, but they had enough energy and enough quality, at least in this game, to get them over the line and get them qualified for the knockouts. And that was more than Uruguay had for the vast majority. I've been so disappointed by Uruguay in this tournament so far. They've been so turgid, so slow, so
They're sort of
labored.
always turgid though. Like
No,
Uruguay have never been.
but this is worse. Like
This is
they, particularly in the midfield, like they had enough. You think back to 2018. Yeah, they still had Cavani and Suarez up top, who aren't necessarily the fastest players, but they had a lot of dynamism in the middle of the park. Lucas Torreira, remember him, had a great performance at the base of, like, I think a midfield diamond they were playing back then. But Pellistri came on at halftime. I thought he was the big sub. He gave so much more spark to Uruguay than any player really provided in the opening 45. And I am actually getting to the point where it wouldn't, and maybe cover your ears, Pakua, it wouldn't shock me at all, really, to see Ghana beat this team, because they do have more willingness to move and create and do stuff compared to Uruguay, where I don't know. I'm regret to say it, because I had them topping the group initially, but yeah,
You
they've let me down, and I think it takes a lot to
Nah, you can't just drop that. What
hang
do you
on.
mean you're at the top of
Can
the
I just
list?
finish my point? I think you have to do a spectacularly bad job to take a team that has one of the world's most informed midfielders in Fede Valverde, and a player who is an agent of chaos, and I am ripping this slightly from a tweet I saw somewhere, in Darwin Nunez, to make that team boring. Like, that is you have to do a pretty bad job to make
And
that
you know what?
happen.
Bentancur is a really good player as well. I really like Bentancur. So
Yeah.
but they're not dynamic. They're slow.
Oh, Fede.
And they don't really have a number 10.
They're
They don't have a number
they're
10.
playing two sixes. They're playing Vecino and Bentancur in the same team. And if anyone has watched enough Serie A over the past few years and has seen Vecino and Bentancur play,
watch
they are
Serie
the
A?
same player.
Well,
I do watch
your,
Serie A,
Who's your midfield
but-
three? Who's your midfield three?
Man, I don't even know who's on the bench for Uruguay these days.
Exactly,
honestly.
exactly.
But that's the thing.
Exactly. They
That's
don't
the
have
thing.
anyone. They've got Lucas
Yeah, but if
Torreira. He's
you
another
have
six.
If someone's a better profile, surely that can be better than Vecino. Like, seriously,
They-
like, no.
they had
No
a
disrespect.
guy, De Arrascaeta, come on, the number 10. He plays for Flamengo. He was okay. He had moments. It was kind of, I think it was too late in the game. But can I just say one thing on Portugal? Portugal, like, I don't know. I think they're qualifying. Their disappointing Euros kind of clouded my judgment, I think. Their disappointing qualifying campaign, they almost missed out. And the fact that Ronaldo is kind of washed now and nowhere near the level, I think also clouded my judgment. This team's not going to play good football, but this team is absolutely stacked with quality players. Like, you talk about Rafael Leao should start, but João Felix and Bruno Fernandes and Bernardo Silva, these are all very, very, very good players. They're not leaving Rafael Leao on the bench for, a couple of scrubs or whatever. Ronaldo can still score goals in the box. We've provided service. He doesn't do much else, but he can still do that. William Carvalho is still a very good player, starting midfielder for Betis. Ruben Neves as well. He's a conservative midfielder, but he gives you something. And then you've got Ruben Diaz starting centre back for Man City. João Cancelo, probably the most informed defender in the Premier League. Big loss, I think, Nuno Mendes, the PSG left back, going off for them, injured. I think because when I was looking at that team, I think, oh, geez, they've actually pretty much stacked in every position. It was only kind of the centre back pairing of Pepe, who at 39, but even Pepe was still doing well. So I don't know. I look at this Portugal team, and actually, I just looked at 538, and they're actually fourth favourite to win now, behind Brazil, Spain, and France.
The
So
problem is
it's interesting.
They're not a balanced team though. Like they've got all this talent, but they don't play any cohesive style of football. They're a bit just like individual, rely a lot on individual brilliance in the likes of.
Isn't that France?
I mean,
Hey.
yeah, that's
Isn't
true,
that exactly
Pakura.
France?
I think you have a point, but like, how many functional teams have we actually seen at this World Cup? Like, how many teams are there actually out there that work from front to back? Not many. So maybe individual quality will be the difference. Then I'll speak at once.
No,
I'm
well,
just-
you
I wasn't-
lagged,
I wasn't- I wasn't- I wasn't
you
sure if-
lagged, mate.
I wasn't sure if Pakul was jumping in. No. I was going to say, but to that point, Pakul, yeah, they're very individualized going forward, but defensively, like especially
Oh.
against good teams, they defend pretty well. Like that's Fernando Santos ball to a T. They are compact.
They-
They will frustrate. They play. That's how they won the bloody Euros, for God's sake.
Okay,
You know,
I
like
get you, Nick. I get you, but the first game against Ghana, their first choice to play centre back was Danilo, who was
Yeah, that was
shocking.
bad.
Their defense, their first choice defensively is a bit shaky, and it's. I get that they've got all this, like they can score, they can outscore anybody. I get it, but like when they do not defend as a unit, a lot of the time, like there are gaps in that side. They're not that great.
So here's a question for the group. Who are the bottom two teams in this World Cup for XG conceded? As in, who have conceded the least amount of good chances at this World Cup? There are two teams in there, and I'm surprised by both of them. Go, Debano, first guess.
Brazil.
No, Brazil was 29th.
Ooh.
Brazil was
Switzerland?
29th. So there's two teams below Brazil.
Switzerland?
Switzerland, no. Switzerland is 21st. So we're looking for 31 and 32.
Ooh, good question.
You know what?
Oh.
Interestingly, I'll give you a little clue. Uruguay was 29th. They've only conceded
Wow.
0.6, and they've
They were going to
Okay.
be my
taken
guess.
one
They were
point.
going to be my guess. I
Here
bet
we
the
go.
penalty.
Tunisia.
No, Tunisia.
Oh.
Tunisia's 18. They're
Okay,
like mid-table.
Not that good, Nick.
So come on, the
Oh.
two best defensive teams of this tournament according to XG.
Morocco?
Morocco, no. All right, in the comments, you want to guess? Go for it. Toros guesses Germany. Incorrect.
I'm just gonna
I'll give
say
you a-
Australia for a laugh.
I'll give you a clue. They've both conceded 0.4 across two games.
Is it? It's not Portugal, is it?
It's not Portugal. But Portugal, that's why I was looking up because I thought, well, Portugal's defense is very good.
France?
France, no.
Oh,
Portugal's
no.
considered 0.9. France
Oh.
considered 1.2.
Ecuador?
Ecuador is one of them. Ecuador has considered 0.4. Ecuador has, according to this, the best
They've been
defense
good.
so far in this tournament. Which,
Oh,
you know,
USA, maybe?
no, there's another one in there. I don't think. Okay, Antonis Pagonis says.
Oh,
France.
yeah. I got it. I think I
Go.
got it.
Go.
Actually, no, it won't be. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. Sorry. Mexico.
Incorrect. Incorrect.
Oh,
Because they copped a penalty against Poland. That's why I didn't say it.
true.
Yeah.
True.
If it was
Belgium?
open play XG, maybe. Just
Belgium?
tell us, though. Put us out of our misery.
Torres guesses Italy. Italy are on a solid 0 XG conceded.
Wait, that comment sent Nick to the shadow realm. He's gone dark on his webcam.
Final guesses.
I'm
Nah, I'm
Anyone
out.
got anything?
I mean,
Argentina.
what?
Argentina has 0.4 because
Oh,
Saudi Arabia just had the two chances, which were like, you know, very, very low XG. And then Mexico barely had a shot against them. So Argentina has the best defense in this competition. Vamos Argentina. Messi gana.
I mean, you have to factor the opposition into that somewhat. I mean,
No.
you know, like Saudi, always going to be reactive.
Yeah.
And Mexico didn't even try to attack. The only thing they were attacking was Argentinian players' legs.
hey, what is it? Wait, what was the other one? Ecuador. Is it Garada,
Yeah.
as Bozza called them?
Guadara.
Guadara.
Antonis Pagonis guessed Spain. Spain have got 1.3 from two games. So just interesting because, you know, at the start of the tournament, I was thinking that the teams that traditionally do well at World Cups, very solid defensively, a lot of 1-0 kind of victories, and that's what you're looking for. And I wouldn't have, had not looked it up just then, I would not have said Argentina and Ecuador are the two most
Who's the
solid
worst?
teams.
Is it Australia or is it Costa
Well,
Rica?
It could be Ghana. Ghana could be up there.
Ooh,
Wouldn't
Okay.
Australia be
Or
up there?
is it Cameroon after last night?
I'm gonna give you the top 5. We'll go 5-1. All right.
Ghana's
Two
gotta
games
be-
played. Ghana has 3.8 XG conceded. Number 4, Belgium, 4.1 conceded.
Ooh, I would never have guessed that.
Number
I would've.
3, the team that conceded 7 goals in one game, Costa Rica, 4.4.
To be fair, they conceded 0 in the next stall, so don't disrespect their defense.
Number 2, Serbia, the team that played a high line and
Is
got
that why
caught on the
Gambia is
counterattack, 3-1, 4.7, and at a whopping 5.1 XG conceded in
Australia.
2 matches.
Australia.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice. Well done. The Socceroos have managed to concede.
All I've got to say to the Socceroos is you've achieved nothing yet. You might be first, but you've achieved nothing.
That's so funny.
I mean, my take from all of this is just it shows what a bogus stat XG is. The old buff heads of football media were right. It's a fake stat. It means nothing.
Right.
It's nerd nonsense.
Graham Arnold has destroyed the XG myth by qualifying Australia to the second round with an XG conceded of 8.
He has his own
Three
XG stat. It's X Graham. It's just expected Arnie's.
Expected Graham.
Antonis Pagonis says, love this. Building to the no one rates us narrative at Graham Arnold. XG doesn't rate you. XG thinks you should be losing all these games.
It's pinned to the dressing room wall, the XG table. They've fashioned it into a dartboard.
Ethan asked, surely that XG was all against France. It was mainly against France. I
Not
can bring it up.
entirely.
Yeah, not entirely.
Tunisia
We
is
can
decent.
We conceded a 4.21 against France, which is an incredible amount in one game. And then we've also conceded, I believe it was like a 0.9. Let me just bring it up. 0.94 against Tunisia. Kind of think of that big chance that Harry Suter kind of got in the way of and that kind of thing. Had a couple of corners as well and stuff like that.
Oh, the
Cutback.
shot at the near post as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Australia, the Burnley of World Cup football.
I mean, that's pretty apt. Hey, I know who our next Socceroos manager could be. Let's get Daichi in there.
Daichi in.
Imagine his croaky voice in post press. Actually, it's pretty similar to Arnold. So.
Yeah, the players wouldn't have to adjust. Should we predict tonight's games?
We haven't done Brazil-Switzerland yet. We may as well just token Casemiro, Belter.
Yeah,
Casemiro.
I thought it was interesting that they played Eder Militao at right back because why did they bring Dani Alves?
For vibes.
Exactly. He's not a member of the squad.
But the
Josh,
squad
come
is
on. There were 26 players.
Yeah, but now they don't have a backup right back.
Dani Alves is still the best right back in the history of football. He'll be okay. Don't worry about him.
Yeah, well, they didn't play him. But the thing is, they played Eder Militao and they played Fred. And that was such an extreme reversal of Chicha's game plan in the first match. I thought, if they play Dani Alves at right back, maybe they'll play Fred there to shield him a little bit, to provide a little bit more defensive nous on that right-hand side. They play both of them. So, and I think the fact that this Brazil squad is stacked full of wide forwards and no number 10s is costly selection now. He couldn't not pick Martinelli, but he's just got so many wide forwards: Anthony, Rodrigo, Martinelli, Rafinha, Vinicius Junior. It's just all wide forwards.
Devil's advocate here. He's got a 10, but he's playing him out of position. Lucas Paquetá, and he's got some more deep line players. I reckon Paquetá could be the answer as a 10, and he was playing Neymar as a 10. He's more of a wide player, but I think you should have gone Paquetá as a 10. Literally, he's been playing
well, he
so
kind of
well
did.
there.
He kind of did. He sort of went more 4-3-3 and didn't really play with a 10. But but Paquetá, is obviously an option there. But then that means you have to play Fred as well in behind him. And Fred,
You could play Bruno from Newcastle.
Yeah, true. But I thought it was costly leaving out Firmino because I thought Firmino could potentially play that position and link the play between midfield and attack.
Yeah, I agree with that, Josh. And also, I just think it did show this team is very reliant on Neymar. Neymar is, they're Messi. When they get into the final third, all the players look to play him in, or they look to him to kind of be the connection between the midfield and the attack and slide players in and play 1-2s off him. And, he's going to be is going to be a big miss. Like it seems like he's not going to come back until at least quarterfinals, semifinals, if at all. So
Well-
Brazil came into this tournament as favourites, and without Neymar, I do wonder whether they'll come unstuck against a very kind of well-organised defensive team like Ecuador.
Can I just say one thing? Sorry, go Pure.
They won't get past Ghana in the round of 16, so don't even stretch that name. It's not us.
I love
Big
how you
call
object to any of us saying Ghana's going to win because
Can-
you're like, don't jinx it. But then when you say it, it's fine.
I got to
Because
say though,
he knows my heart. He knows that I'm just trying to cover the pain, okay? So I'm allowed to say it. You guys are you guys are bringing bad karma. I'm bringing joy.
I got to say, guys, is this not the most like Switzerland versus powerhouse kind of result that you could possibly have at a World Cup? It feels like you could take Brazil out and replace them with any big team in world football, and it would be such and such 1, Switzerland 0. It's always like Switzerland never look like they. I think like literally, other than when they beat France in like a major tournament, when was the last time they actually like beat, you know, a big opposition at a World Cup? Like, because they're always there. They're always thereabouts. They always
Well,
make the round of 16. But
Not
like-
not Spain.
wait,
Is that the-
2010. Yeah,
Yeah,
2010.
is that the last time?
Yeah.
Well, they knocked out France as well.
Hey, if
Yeah.
only someone had knocked them out in qualifying. Hey?
Can you please not, mate? Like seriously,
Mate,
like I've
If
had
only there'd
enough.
been like a bigger team in their group that maybe could have pushed
Hey,
them into the playoffs, and
you
we
know
wouldn't have
what?
had to put up with Switzerland.
You know what, Josh? You know what? I've had enough, mate. I didn't come here to relive past traumas. I didn't come here to, you know, to think about Jorginho missing 2 penalties that he should have scored. I didn't want to think about any of that. But now I come here on this beautiful, it's beautiful Tuesday night in my backyard, and here I am being, you know, told these bad memories.
Oh, Madonna, you got to bring that up. I'm upset. I'm so upset. I don't know what to say.
Nick, I'll be
We haven't
honest.
played
with you,
that in a while.
I thought Jorginho was at the World Cup. I swear I saw him take a penalty today.
Oh, Fernandez. Yes.
I've-
As I said, when I saw that, it felt like I felt like I'd seen this before. But the last time I saw it, he blazed it over the bar when Jan Sommer was in goals at the Olympico. So I was expecting Fernandez to do the same thing. But
To be
Yeah.
fair, Pakua, I think your eyes were deceiving you, much in the same way Ronaldo's eyes and also his brain were deceiving him when he tried to claim that goal from Bruno Fernandes.
And the
It
best
was
part
nowhere
about it-
near his head.
It wasn't-
He did not touch it. It
even
wasn't
close.
even close.
I feel like we need to get Snicko involved. Okay, this is the perfect time to get it involved. See if the waves are moving. But the best part about it was post-match where he's trying so hard to be like, "Give me the goal. I want all this. I want all the light on me." It's just.
But that's what Ronaldo is now. Ronaldo
love
is
his
a
ego.
records chaser. He doesn't really care about the competition that
Yeah, but
much. He's just all about his stat
You
padding.
can't blame him. You can't blame
It's
him.
like
for
I
that,
have
'cause
finite number of games left in my career. I have to score X number of goals, and every goal that's taken away from me is a personal slight and
Well-
affront to me.
I thought Nick was going to speak.
no, I was
Quick-
waiting for Lockie.
Question for the group, because obviously Switzerland lost to Brazil overnight without much fanfare, as is often the case when Switzerland play games at major tournaments. There's not always a lot of fanfare. They're on 3 points, but Cameroon and Serbia can both still qualify on 1 point. Obviously, it's Serbia and Switzerland playing one another on the final match day. Who do we see being the second team in Group
say that
G
again,
now,
please?
with it poised as it is?
Switzerland.
Is it going to stay Switzerland?
Guys, all I'm saying is we remember what happened last time, and I get it. Stoll, we didn't need to have any gestures, but the last time we saw them two play, it was chaos. It was exciting.
Yeah.
It was inciting as well. It had everything. So I honestly, I'm excited for that. But honestly, I could see it being like a chaotic 3-3 and Switzerland goes through. Like, because knowing what Serbia's going to do, they'll be up 3-0 with 5 minutes to go. They'll bring on another striker and they'll go for it for 4. And they'll concede 3.
I'm taking West Africa and Cameroon are going to stun the world and beat Brazil and get that second spot.
Samuel Eto'o to come out of retirement and play a 1-2 with Abubakar and smash it into the top corner.
I just look at
Samuel
Then you
Eto'o
know-
can't
then
be
you know he's
selected.
picking the team.
Yeah, he can't be selected for Cameroon because he's not part of his own agency. If you are,
Or,
can I just bring up a
Antonio
random
says
comment?
Ronaldo's a free agent trying to impress potential suitors. Cut him some slack. Ethan K says rock and roll that for me in reference to our snicko.
Oh,
the
you know what?
football snicko. We need to bring up the hot spot and then go to ball ready.
In a way, nothing sums up Ronaldo's career like so aggressively celebrating a non-goal that was someone else's goal. Like nothing says that I've been faking it for all these years and telling myself that I'm the best player in the world when I'm so clearly not. The evidence is so against me, but I'll celebrate it into existence. That was what he was doing with the goal. That's what he's been doing with his career.
You remember when that episode of The Simpsons where Bart Simpson goes for the rolling radioactive man, but he's too short, so he starts like spiking his hair up real high, starts wearing heels. That's what Ronaldo's going to do next game to make sure that he can at least get a strand of hair on the ball.
Oh,
He's going to come
Ronaldo.
out with a mohawk, like a real big punk.
Going to call the
mohawk.
Chris Anderson Birdman kind of mohawk the next time they play.
I want to read out a comment from ages ago, but I thought it was really good, so I think we should bring it back. Antonis Pagonis said, maybe if Serie A dies, he can come back with a cool new name. Eat Liga, anyone. That would be amazing.
Antonio has been on fire today. He really has. Great
Yeah,
stuff.
Antonis, quality posting.
Yeah.
So is Georgia, Homelander Energy. Look, let's predict tonight's games because I'm tired and hungry and I need to have breakfast at 6:30 p.m.
Oh, dear.
This guy.
Shadow Road life is not that good.
What's
Clearly
coming
not
up?
that
It's
good.
Group A. It's Ecuador, Senegal, and Netherlands, Qatar at the ungodly hour of 2 a.m.
No more 9 p.m. kickoffs. How much does that
No,
suck?
R.I.P. Hey, most of them sucked, but this last one made up for all of it.
Oh, mate, I'm sad now. Like, you know, they were the best. 9 p.m. You know what? Now what are we going to watch? What are we going to watch? I have to go back and actually find a show on Netflix. Like, come on.
I'll be getting my beauty sleep before the 2 a.m. game. But Ecuador versus Senegal first up. Round the room.
Senegal wins. Senegal make it to the round of 16.
Give me a scoreline.
2-1 Senegal.
Is my turn to speak?
I'm just going
I'm wait-
clockwise. Debano.
This morning I predicted a draw. This evening I'm going to say a Senegal 2-1 win. It's going to be like real tight though. Like real tight. And it's going to be a bonkers game.
You're playing both sides, so you always come out on top. Stoll?
Well, what game are we talking about? Ecuador, Senegal?
Yes.
Ecuador's got the best defense in this competition. They're going to win 1-0 Enner Valencia with the goal.
Nice. Oh
back?
my goodness. Oh, there's just a meme that's
Yep. We'll bring it up. We will bring it up after
We'll bring it up at the end.
predictions.
All right.
We'll finish the show with it.
I'm going to say Ecuador 2-1 over Senegal. I've been very impressed with Ecuador so far.
Yeah,
course
I'm
you
going to
will,
say
Senegal.
Ecuador 1, Senegal 0. Netherlands versus Qatar. Stoll?
I'm going to say Netherlands 1, Qatar 0.
Lockie?
Netherlands 2, Qatar 0.
Pakua?
0-0 draw.
0 draw. Point
Dead
for the
game.
hosts.
Absolute rubbish game. Two teams with stinkers. Absolute stinkers.
Debano?
Netherlands 2, Qatar 0.
I'm going to go with Netherlands 4, Qatar 0. And at 6
Wow.
a.m., the geopolitical derby, Iran, US of A.
I'm going to say Iran 1, USA 0.
Yes.
Lockie?
I'm going to say Iran 1, USA 1, because I'm deathly afraid of picking either side.
You're playing neither side, so you always come out even. Pakua.
Iran 3, United States 1, but the United States score first.
Ooh. I want to watch that game. Can we have that game, Debano?
All right. This is now where I'm playing here for the narrative of what I wanted before the group stage. Iran wins this game 2-0, but this prediction will come full circle when we get to the next game.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Oh dear.
I like
All right.
it. I like
Well,
it. I
that
like where you're
final-
heading.
Oh,
Final
Nick, I know
game.
what you're going to do. What you're a
Oh
menace.
dear.
You're a
I think
menace.
he might run the risk of summoning a staff member. That might be a
You're
problem.
a menace.
Wales versus England.
Come on, Wales. I'm going to say Wales 1, England 0.
Wow.
Give him some sugar, boys.
Wait,
Lucky
so hold on.
Friday.
Wales needs a
win.
6-goal turnaround.
Less.
No,
It's
they
less.
need to win. They need to win.
They're going to win
Well,
Yeah.
a couple goals.
Yeah, but
They
so
need
it's
to
a 6-goal turn. So obviously, yeah. So it's 3. They need to win 3-0. Would get them even on.
Yeesh.
Praise
win.
those
Yeah, but if
No,
the
they
other,
need
the other
more.
team
numbers,
loses, then
Nick.
They need more. They need
do they need a draw in the other match?
no. So Iran can win, and then
Yeah, and-
Wales needs to win 4 goals to get the goal difference because England's +4 and Wales is -2. Oh, I'd love to see it. I don't think Wales is beating England 4-0, unfortunately. So with that in mind, I'm actually going to revise my pick and say England 3, Wales 1.
Wow.
Flanagan.
England 1, Wales 1.
Pakua.
England 1, Bukayo Saka goal. Wales 5, Aaron Ramsey hat-trick. Gareth Bale 2 goals.
And RIP to the 3 celebrities who will be dying after that happens.
England 0, Wales 5. Kiefer Moore 5.
Kiefer Moore scoring 5. You guys are ridiculous. I think England will win this one 2-0.
Nah. In all seriousness, Wales 1, England 0.
In all seriousness, Wales 6, England 1.
In all
And-
seriousness, best adult dating site currently past 36.
Oh, this is your sex toy endorsement deal. It's come through.
Nick Stoll endorsed this product.
I think in terms of endorsements, we need to work out whether we're endorsing this this tweet. You going to bring it up?
Oh,
Stella?
yes. Bring it up.
Sorry,
Yep.
sorry.
Here we go. I got it here. 1 second. Un momento, por favor.
You might have to
Look.
unmute him first before you can see it.
Look, it comes in from Alan. Good friend of the show, Alan Riley. Good
Former friend of the
contributor.
show.
Former friend. No, he's still friends with the show. He's just friends with Joey. Friendship ended with Nick Stoll. Joey is my friend. Look, I would like to apologize to Alan. It was wrong of me. It happened in a moment of weakness. I can't actually remember why or when, but it was wrong. Alan is a good contributor to this show, and he does a lot of good tweets. I actually constantly find myself unmuting his stuff and liking it. So I don't know what I'm doing with that. But we have another. What a comment we've just had come in. Over an hour and a half of TVC, which is the
TVC.
Victorian
We
And I
we
still haven't
manufacturing
heard the punchline.
VCRs now.
just a whole lot of free rent. Oh, Tim, I love it. The remontada from Tim. That's an unbelievable.
I just want to say that TVC is not the official name of this podcast, and to use TVC to refer to the national curriculum is disrespectful to TNC.
There's your punchline, Tim. That's
Yeah.
our show. Thank you
Great
all for
work.
tuning in to this ridiculous podcast and participating in this ridiculous debate. But you know, we'll be having the last laugh when the league is renamed. Thanks and success.
Viva la Liga.